All right, let's get right into it. We're about to pull back the curtain on something that's quietly reshaping our entire world. We're taking a deep dive into Shoshana Zuboff's incredible book, The Age of Surveillance Capitalism. And listen, this isn't just another talk about big tech or data privacy. What Zuboff uncovered is something much bigger, a kind of hidden, rogue economic order that has fundamentally twisted what capitalism is and is now steering our lives, our societies, and even our futures. And this quote right here, this is everything. This one sentence is the key to the whole puzzle. And you have to understand it's not just an observation, it's an accusation. It says that our everyday lives, our clicks, our conversations, even our emotions, have been reframed as a new kind of natural resource. A resource, kind of like oil or timber, that's just being taken for free and used in ways we can neither see nor control. So here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll look at the discovery that started it all. Then we'll get into the secret digital version of you that gets created. From there, we'll see how this whole thing becomes a political threat, what Zuboff calls a coup from above. We'll define the new kind of power it uses, and then finally, we'll talk about what's really at stake in this fight for our future. So where did all this even come from? Well, like any massive change, it didn't just appear out of nowhere. It all started with a discovery, an unexpected insight into the value of something that, at the time, everyone else was literally just throwing away. You have to picture it. In the early days of Google, the company was just drowning in data. All the little digital trails we left behind, our typos, our clicks, our search histories, they called it data exhaust. They saw it as a messy, useless byproduct that was just clogging up their servers. But then, a few people had a light bulb moment. They realized this wasn't exhaust at all. It was treasure. It held unbelievably powerful clues about what we were all going to do next. And this right here is the absolute heart of it. Zuboff gives this treasure a name: behavioral surplus. Let's break this down. It's all the data that isn't actually needed to make the search engine work better for you. It's the extra stuff, the leftovers that get siphoned off. And because everyone thought it was worthless, it was claimed as a zero-cost asset. Basically, a raw material that these companies realized they could just take for free. Okay, so you have this new raw material. What do you do with it? Well, you build a new kind of factory. This surplus is refined into what are called prediction products. And these products don't just tell companies what you did, they predict with scary accuracy what you will do. And these predictions, they're sold on brand new markets, behavioral futures markets. Think of it. A company can buy a prediction of who is most likely to feel sad next week and go on a shopping spree. They are literally placing bets on our future feelings and actions. This is probably the most powerful way to think about it. Back in the day, industrial capitalism looked at a forest or mountain and saw an unclaimed resource to be logged or mined. Well, surveillance capitalism looked at us, at our private human experience, and saw the new, unclaimed wilderness. Our lives, our thoughts, our friendships, all of it was redefined as virgin wood just sitting there, free for the taking. So once this raw material, our experience, is extracted, it has to go somewhere. And this is where the story gets, well, a lot more unsettling. Because it's used to build a secret profile of you, a kind of digital double that ends up knowing you better than you know yourself. Every single day, we're all contributing to what you could call the first public text. We're posting, we're liking photos, we're searching for things. This is the internet we see, the part we all help write and read. It's the bright, shiny, public-facing side of the digital world that we're told is connecting all of us. But here's the catch. Every single thing we do in that public text is being used to write a second, secret one. This is the shadow text. It's built automatically from all that behavioral surplus, creating a parallel story of your life, written in secret and for someone else's eyes only. And this just lays bare the incredible power imbalance. This shadow text is their property, not ours. It's hidden from us, we're not allowed to read it, it's read-only for the surveillance capitalists who own it. And because it sees patterns across millions of people and everything you've ever done, it draws conclusions about you that you could never even know about yourself. This all leads to this really profound and disturbing conclusion. All the knowledge that's being created from our experience is taken from us, analyzed in secret, and then used to make other people rich. We have no access to it, no control over it. As Zuboff puts it, we've become exiles from our own behavior. Okay, now we need to zoom out. Because what we're talking about here isn't just a new, clever business model. Zuboff argues, and this is critical, that this represents a fundamental attack on the very idea of a democratic society. It's a concentration of knowledge and power so vast, it actually amounts to a political takeover. And she doesn't pull any punches. She calls this a coup from above. Now, this isn't a coup with tanks in the streets. It's an overthrow of the people's sovereignty run by private companies. It completely bypasses democracy and just takes our fundamental human rights, like privacy and the freedom to choose our own path, all without our knowledge, let alone our consent. The real genius of this coup is its camouflage. It's not a coup d'etat, an overthrow of the state. It's what she calls a coup de gens, an overthrow of the people. And it was smuggled into our lives, into our homes and cities, inside a giant technological Trojan horse, disguised as all these helpful, fun, and free services that we all pretty much welcomed with open arms. So, a new kind of coup needs a new kind of power. This new order doesn't rely on the old methods of control. It gave birth to a totally new species of power, something Zuboff calls Instrumentarianism, and it operates in a way that's completely different from anything we've seen before in history. And this is the giant leap. At first, the whole project was about predicting our behavior, but that wasn't enough. The market demanded more certainty, so they moved to the next logical step. Why just predict behavior when you can shape it? The new goal is to intervene, to nudge, to tune, to herd our behavior toward their preferred outcomes. The goal is to automate us. Now, a lot of people hear this and their mind immediately goes to George Orwell's 1984, but Zuboff says that's actually the wrong comparison. Totalitarianism was all about your soul. It used terror and violence to break your will and change you from the inside out. Instrumentarianation, well, it couldn't care less about your soul. It's totally indifferent to your beliefs or your inner life. It just wants to attune your observable behavior for profit. So how does this power actually work in the real world? It's not a secret policeman kicking down your door. It's the algorithm that knows exactly when to show you a buy button. It's the smart speaker that's always listening. It's the connected world around us. It's a vast, invisible, automated architecture designed for one thing: modifying our behavior. So after all of that, the big question is, what now? What are the fundamental things that are being threatened here, and how on earth do we even begin to defend them? Look, this whole debate is so much bigger than just privacy. What's really at stake here is the possibility of human freedom itself. Things like individual autonomy, our ability to make moral choices, the simple capacity to invent our own lives. All of that gets eroded by a system designed to automate us for somebody else's bottom line. Zuboff says we now have to fight for rights we didn't even know were in danger. First, there's the right to the future tense. That's a poetic way of saying it's our right to imagine our own future, to say I will, and for that to mean something. That's being replaced by a system that wants to guarantee outcomes. Second is the right to sanctuary. This is the ancient idea that there has to be a place, your home, your own mind, that is off limits, that is, as she says, unplunderable. And that space is shrinking fast. And finally, the only real answer is democratic resistance, using our laws, our politics, to stand up and say that these practices are not legitimate and we will not allow them. And so, this is where we're left. Zuboff's work is a terrifying warning, but it's also meant to be a call to action. It shows us a world where we've been dispossessed of our own experience, made into exiles in our own lives. And the question it leaves us with isn't really about technology. It's about something much more human. Our need for a place we can call home, and a future we can call our own. How do we find our way back?